So this is just a self-facilitation demo on anger repression, which is I'm just in this stage of practicing. I had been working with repression for many years previously, previous to actually even coming to KI. I was working through a repressed shame that was there sitting for about 30 years, and I didn't even know I had any access, any conscious awareness of it at all. It was completely hidden from awareness. But although constantly sabotaging, always sabotaging my experience of sharing in public, using my voice and speaking in front of people. So anyway, all that to say, many years later, and working through that more skillful way through KI and really meeting the vulnerable energy and really holding space for that shame to fully be felt and fully be met, fully be actually accessed, give way to be able to use my voice, to be able to do these kind of videos, to be able to share with people and groups of people, and more so. But there's still this kind of refinement that comes to KI, and I'm so curious to explore anger repression, because I feel that as a number 9 in Enneagrams, which is a peacemaker and avoider of conflicts, I could totally relate to that, and I could see most of my life being stained by really avoiding anger, really being hiding in a presence of people that get angry. I just want to disappear, and I feel like it's very destructive and very disturbing and very so all these negative things that I feel about anger. And just that brings me to the fact that I was growing up with mostly with my mom taking care of us alone, me and my brother, and went through 2 immigrations and going from USSR and growing up in USSR and seeing her struggle. And mostly her struggle was expressed through violence and through anger. So my resistance to it and her expression, her free expression of anger with her children, me and my brother, had brought very devastated states of fear and a disconnection, of course, and that been worked on. But that's quite interesting to see how my repression of anger is not to continue that same pattern, but at the same time that perhaps is inhibiting some other ways of me fully expressing even deeper and more openly, more integral. So I am very curious to explore this. And what I thought would be the best entry point to see if it's there or not, it would be the reverse inquiry. I can be in absolute anger towards my children. I can express anger freely. I can express rage and anger freely with my children. So I can express rage and anger freely with my kids. Okay, I get no, I don't. Okay. Yes, you can. Yes, you can express anger freely with your children. No, I don't. I don't want to hurt them. Okay. I don't want to hurt them. So what do I need to do? What's the command here? What do I need to do with the anger to not to hurt them? Hide anger. Don't be angry. So what do I need to do with this anger when it comes to my kids? What do I need to do when it comes to my children? Oh, so okay. So there's this point in my back when I look at some intense things. I have this very sharp pain under my shoulder blade, right shoulder blade. So I'm feeling it right now. It's very contracted and very accentuated. It's very vivid right now, very inflamed. So I can express freely anger to my children. Okay, so no, I can't. What do I need to do? No, you can't express anger freely with your children. So just kind of starting arguing with the no to see what's the command behind here. What's the repression command here? What do I need to do with this anger? So here are my children. Oof, I see them kind of like trying to block from, yeah, I guess that's what I'm seeing. I'm almost seeing them as personified as myself, taking a beating from my mom. At her highest point of rage. So now I'm just seeing them. So what do I need to do? Don't show, basically, don't show anger. Don't be angry. Just don't. Somehow don't feels like a command. I wonder if it's don't get angry or don't show anger. Don't get angry. Yeah, it's even prior to showing, because it's interesting that it was so repressed that I don't even know if I've ever felt anger, truly. So don't get angry. So I'm gonna try. So I have an inflamed point under my shoulder blade right now. It's very activated. What I feel the repression command so far, how it comes about is don't get angry. It's even prior to showing the anger or hiding the anger. It's not even to get angry. Don't get angry. So I'm just gonna do rapid fire and see what happens. So don't get angry. 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 Show hide anger. Don't get angry. Don't get angry. I said don't hide anger. Hide anger. Don't show anger. Don't show anger. Don't show anger. Don't show anger. Hide. Don't get angry. Somehow don't show anger has much more power than don't get angry. Don't show anger. There's no anger. No anger. Ignore anger. Oh, wow. That's a powerful one. Ignore anger. Whew. It's like a jackpot. It almost feels blissful. Okay. So ignore anger. Ignore anger. Ignore anger. Ignore anger. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore it. Ignore anger. Ignore anger. Ignore anger. Ignore anger. Ignore anger. Okay, let's just unlock some pocket of sadness from my childhood, kind of hiding or taking cover from that anger coming from my mom and violence. Okay. Okay, I'll try another round. So ignore anger, ignore anger, ignore anger, ignore anger, hide anger, don't show anger, don't show anger, don't show anger, ignore anger, ignore anger, ignore, ignore anger. Please, please hide it for the sake of the children. Uh, mm. So it's just, again, it's just a pocket of sadness. It's almost like compassion towards kids. I guess it's a memory of the fear here that was lived, but it's also just kind of a general collective felt sense of all children. And the violence, that's it. I hate anger. I hate anger. What comes like anger equals pain, anger equals violence. So I hate anger. Anger equals pain, and anger equals violence. Good stuff. Okay. So just allowing the emotion to go through. So this is the piece. This is why it's been repressed. Because anger equals violence in my system. And anger equals pain. Anger equals suffering. I hate anger. What do I get out of hating anger? Or what do I get out of believing that anger equals violence only? Yeah, I get to stay safe. I get other kids to stay safe. Wow, this is like a strong embedded record in the system that anger is equals violence. It's good to see that. My God. Okay. So again, this point is very intensified. It's very, very, oof, it's actually very painful. So I'm feeling into it. It's very, it's almost exaggerated, the pain. I've never felt it that way. So it means that I'm on the right track. Okay, continue exploring. So I'm gonna, so if hate, anger, how about if I just try to arrive that up? Okay. So if this energy of resistance, hates, anger, I'll just allow it to do exactly what it does. So I can just hold the resistance in place and just maybe go down and really be with the sensation in my back. So I can remove the layer of resistance here. Okay. So, okay, hate, anger. I hate anger, hate anger, hate anger, hate. I hate it, hate it, hate anger. Yeah, I hate it. I don't want it. I don't like it. I hate it. Yes. It's terrible. Anger. Terrible, terrible. I want to ignore anger. No, it's not ignore. Ignore anger. Hide anger. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Oh, that's a good one. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid it. Look away. Look away. It's like I always turn away from conflict, always turn away from the war right now instead of being, I don't know, creatively or actively engaged in what's going on. I rather turn away. Let them figure out their angry shit. They're violent, abusive. Oh, some good stuff here, huh? Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see the resistance. So this sensation, let's see. So this sensation, this pain in my shoulder blade, under the shoulder blade, this pain can stay here forever. I don't want it to go away. Can be as painful as it wants to be for the rest of my life. No, no, okay. What do I need to do with this? What is this? Who or what is this about altogether? This pain in the back, or what is this? Repressed anger, okay. I don't know, maybe because I'm just looking at repressed anger, my mind is just throwing things, but let's see what else. Who or what is this about? Truly. This fear of anger, okay. Oh, sorry. Jesus. Uh, um, so, fear of anger. So, what do I have to do with this fear of anger? So, this fear of anger can stay here for the rest of my life. No. No, it's limiting somehow. No, it's painful. Somehow, freedom, the word freedom comes. Ultimate freedom. Okay, I'll take that. So, what do I need to do with this fear of anger? How do I need to keep it in place? How do I need to protect this? Again, it gives me the same thing. I need to avoid anger. So avoid anger, avoid anger, avoid anger, avoid anger, avoid it. By all means, avoid anger. I said avoid anger, avoid anger. I want to avoid anger, avoid anger, avoid anger. Yes, yes, avoid it. Just look away, look away, look away, look away, look away. Avoid anger, ignore anger, avoid anger, avoid it, ignore it, avoid it, ignore it, avoid it, ignore it, avoid it, ignore it, avoid it, avoid it, avoid it, avoid it, avoid it. So I'm just with whatever feels like the resistance itself. It's just so, it kind of became like this abstract energy just right now between my hands. It's still here. It's very persistent. It's still here. So I'm just going to drop it. I'm going to try to rapid fire and split the baby, split the screen. And I'm just going to come down after holding the resistance. I'm going to come down and just feel. Oof, it doesn't feel useful at all. It feels actually like sharp pain. It's almost someone stabbing me with a knife in my back. Okay, if this feeling had words right now, what would it say? I'm terrified. And what's the worst thing that can happen from the perspective of this energy? This contraction that is so painful. What's the worst thing that can happen? I don't exist. What's the worst thing that can happen? That I hurt someone else in the process. As I hurt. Yeah. That I hurt someone as I been hurt. Ow, it's very painful. Oh my God. Never had it so intense before. Oh, it means I'm definitely up to something here. Definitely up to something here. Ow. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go at it one last round. Rapid fire and split a baby. And then I just want to see if I have more access to actually express anger. Okay, so avoid anger. Avoid anger. By all means, avoid anger. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Do everything in your ability to avoid anger. Ignore anger. Avoid it. Avoid it. Look away. Look away. Look away. Avoid. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Avoid. Avoid anger. Avoid anger. Avoid. 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 Avoid anger. Avoid anger. What do I need to avoid anger? Not to harm anyone. Okay. Avoid anger so nobody gets harmed. Okay. I need to avoid anger. Some images of my mom being furious when I was young, 6, 5 years old, 7 maybe, up till 10. Very furious. It's amazing that it's not all the time, but those few incidents were more than enough to live an imprint for the rest of my life. Okay, well then there it is. There it is. Not to hurt others, so nobody gets hurt. Again, avoid anger. So nobody gets hurt. An image of my brother comes. and him suffering many beatings since he was older. He could have taken more. He taken more beatings than I am. More physical as opposed to me, more verbal. This one incident comes to mind when we were violently addressed for a good week after a certain incident by my mom. Constantly, she would just flare up and remind us of that and just beat us up. So again, so nobody gets hurt. Need to avoid anger so nobody gets hurt. Avoid anger. So nobody gets hurt. I'm free to express anger to my children. I'm ready to express anger to my children when appropriate. I can express anger freely to my children. Anger does not equate by violence. Huh. Well, my pain disappeared actually in the back. At least for now. Ooh, love it. To be continued. The pain is gone completely. I don't know what it does. I don't know what shifted. So I don't have to repress anger. There's still something there. I can freely express anger to my kids. It feels better now. Feels like I could. And I mean, I do sometimes, but I warned them that we need to cooperate and communicate and try to be listening to one another before mama explodes in anger. But it was good. It was good to see that connection, why anger was avoided most of my life. Okay, be back to this. If you're still here, thanks for watching. I'm exploring. It's quite it's fun to play, uncover some pockets of yeah, of old pain. Much love.